and got a permit to buy dynamite. It only cost me, I don't know, maybe $10.
$10 for a dynamite
permit. And I would sign a paper saying that I had never been convicted of a felony, or I had never been judged insane, or you know. And you sign this paper and you do some fingerprinting and you get a dynamite license. And then I would call up the hardware store. There was a hardware store that's 60 miles from where we lived. I would call them up and I'd say, I'd like to come in at, this afternoon and pick up a case of dynamite.
The hardware store had
hardware
dynamite.
store and time fuse and blasting caps and stuff like that. And I would then go drive to the hardware store and pick it up.
What state?
That's Michigan.
In Michigan, you could just buy dynamite.
Yeah.
And this is just post-service, like when you had your break-in service.
Yeah, I would do that. I still did that. And I kept the dynamite in my house and in the basement. The house.
So that's where you want to keep it because it's
cool and stuff like that. Yeah. And this is nitroglycerin-based dynamite.
Nitroglycerin-based dynamite, which if it gets really old, it starts to sweat, right?
Yeah, you got to turn it. Depending on the temperature, storage temperature, how often you turn it, because it will settle out of the dynamite. So so I would, if I wanted more dynamite than a case, he was only allowed to have a case of dynamite in town in the hardware store.
It's still so crazy to think that this was ever a thing. It's so funny. The government barely trusts us to drive cars at this point, let alone owning a case of dynamite at the house.
I didn't have to prove anything. I just had to be not convicted of any felonies or been judgmentally insane,
That is a really cool story. I didn't realize that. I never knew you could buy dynamite from a hardware store.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most people watching this will not have known that.
Yeah.
I promise.
But he had a bunker outside the town where he had all the other dynamite stored. And, if you wanted more in the case, then you had to go out to the bunker.
And you'd go pick some more up.
Yeah.
And so how much dynamite would you keep in your house at a time?
Just a case.
Just a case?
Yeah. And then I would buy ammonium nitrate, fertilizer, and would like to dig in the ponds. I would then add diesel fuel to the ammonium nitrate and use several sticks of dynamite to detonate the ammonium nitrate. That's what Tim McVeigh did, basically.
Oh, really?
At the federal,
Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, the federal building in Oklahoma.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City bombing.
Right.
Yeah.
It was ammonium nitrate.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize that was what that was. Yeah.